our Thursday practice. Obviously, what everyone wants to know is about Royce. Royce is not going to play in this game. Okay. Tyrell will discuss with you guys, his intentions. And you know what? We have a very tight-knit group, and everything we do, we discuss together as a family. We're always, making sure we communicate. So that decision is respected. It's something that we spoke about early, and a big part of that discussion was being able to respect a decision, always a mutual respect. So, but I want you guys to have that information as we continue to prepare, and at the same time knowing that we have a pretty impressive stable of running backs, and those guys have a tremendous opportunity, and they'll be excited as well.
Coach, how does that conversation take place, and what are the factors in that? I know it's health, obviously, but for you,
it takes place in the exact same way it did in my household growing up. You know what I mean? It's face to face, eye to eye, being truthful, putting things on the table that affect it one way or the other, and then a decision is made. And as long as there's communication, there's always going to be respect. And I think a lot of times the problems in this world occur because there is no communication. And in our locker room, it's quite the opposite. We communicate. We make sure that everything is put out in front and center so that we can find the best solution for whatever the situation relates to, and that's a decision that Royce has made, and it's something that you have to respect.
I'm sure you guys would love to have him play, but you guys feel like this is an opportunity for Kanai, who's kind of been in Royce's shadow for 4 years, to get a little.
I think so. Kanai's a senior, and I think we've all seen on game day what he does. He's an explosive guy. He has worked his behind off. I mean, he's ready for the opportunity to carry more of the load, and so has Tony Brooks James, and so has Darian. I mean, we've got guys that can play football. And that's the only way to look at it. That's the only way to look at it. And our players support each other. They'll do so. So I'm excited to watch those guys get after it.
Do you have any changes in your offensive philosophy versus what Duck fans have gotten used to this year?
You want the whole game plan now, or you want to?
Yeah, go just lay it on out there.
All right. Well, let me.
Then you got to execute.
Make sure we've got Boise State TV on it now. We've had a tremendous amount of, I would say, improvement as the season's gone on. We're very different. Well, we're very different game 12 than we were game 1, and that type of, morphing, I would say, the way we've evolved is a lot of the stuff that you can expect. We have very explosive football players, and we've got a strong and powerful offensive line and a quarterback that's dynamic, and you have to use your weapons. I say what we need to do and will continue to do is making sure that more of our guys touch the football. We've got to stress defenses horizontally and vertically. Coach Arroyo has I trust in him having a very aggressive game plan, so to speak. So I think Duck fans will be excited and happy.
Obviously, we appreciate the honesty with Royce, but is there ever a thought to withhold that info as a game plan go forward and make Boise State prep for him, or now does that not matter?
I mean, they've seen Royce, they've seen Kanai. Man, it's football. You know what you see on film, and you see on film. I think a lot of coaches out there are always like, hey, don't come to practice and close out media. It's like, come on, man. It's football, right? It's all about blocking and tackling, throwing and catching. We have nothing to hide. We're preparing hard. We're preparing well. Guys are motivated. So let's just go find out, right? Let's go find out.
What's his role the next 2 days then for Royce? Is just kind of.
He's a valued member of our organization, and I'm sure he'll be. This is hard for him now. I mean, this is not an easy thing for a guy like that's invested his heart and soul in the program. I mean, we all know the story and the statistics that go with that, so it's difficult for him. And one thing, I've been here a year, okay, but I think I've been lucky enough to be in some pretty good locker rooms, some pretty good situations. These guys are really, really unique. They understand that this family thing is not just talk. It's not just a head fake. This is real, and the family will stick together, support each other, and we'll press forward.
How big of an opportunity is this for Felix to get more carries and for you guys to kind of see what he can do more of?
Yeah, all those guys. I mean, look at you. We forgot about Taj. There's another guy. There's a lot of guys, and we have a quarterback that knows and understands our offense and how to deliver the ball and put in the right spot to the right guy to be able to stress defenses. So it all comes together. I mean, the thing that we always preach here is being unselfish. You're going to be judged as how you produce when you have the ball in your hand and when you don't have the ball in your hand. You got to prove that you're unselfish and you're willing to make those sacrifices to be a better team player. So, so we're, again, that's another long answer to a short question. I tend to do that sometimes. You get the feeling for that already. But, yes, sir.
As a coach, how do you feel about this growing trend of players sitting out bowl games to prepare for the draft?
I like to see players play. I do. And so it's new and it's different, and you've got to keep investing time and researching and just taking a deeper dive into the people involved to understand, the trends. Because obviously God, I'm not that old. You know that, man. I mean, I'm 47, Don't put that out there, but it was something that, you don't ever want to, I would say, to me, college football is the last frontier, all right, where hard work and toughness actually matter, And these guys have worked so hard. You don't want anything taken away from it. I don't think this does. This is a kind of a unique case with Royce, but you just want to see guys play. But I guess the biggest way, am I disappointed in him? No, I'm not. Do I want to see him play? Absolutely. Okay, but I stand by him just like I gave him my word, and I don't break my word for nobody. Okay.
Mario, change is not easy, but when you guys came in, did the seniors warm up to you guys right away, or was there a process of kind of gaining their trust and vice versa?
They were good. I think there's always we kind of put it out the forefront and said, look, we're not going to gain your trust by saying, trust us. It's going to be great. It doesn't work like that. You have to see. You have to drive by at 1 in the morning. Well, hopefully you're in bed by then. But you got to see my light on in the office working for you. You've got to see that the preparation and the things that we're doing to help you for game day, you actually feel like it's making you a better player. You've got to see that we're invested in your academic life. You've got to see that we're going out of our way to make sure that you're doing the right things, and part of that is discipline. I think it's the invested time has paid off, and the relationship grew like this. Now, you wish the summer was different so you could spend more time with your players. You can't. But we, re-galvanized this thing, if that's even a word, once camp started. And it just keeps growing and growing and growing. And you hear the right things in the locker room. You hear the guys talk about how much they love this football team. And it's not for fluff. It's not like we're soft about our approach. We grind. And that's the culture. And one of my biggest jobs now is to keep preaching the importance of the culture. The culture cannot ever go backwards. You got to hit the restart button every day and go forward. So we just want to be focused. We want to cut out all distractions, right? Easier said than done in a place where there's enough lights that you can see us from Saturn probably, right? But our guys want to do that, and we're going to make sure that they are.
Is there a difference in winning or losing a bowl game for setting the stage for the next year?
Always. Any game. Bowl game, regular season game, playoff game, national championship game, right? It's only one goal in mind, right? That's it.
How excited are you personally to see how this thing plays out on Saturday, just to see your footprint or your handprint on what you're going to put out there on the field?
I take myself out of the equation completely. I really do. I'm excited for them. I always tell them all the time, I don't, I have my wedding band I don't wear to practice. It's about $42. I don't wear any of the championship rings or all the shirts and all that stuff. I could care less about the hardware. I love the moments because they're life changers. They were for me, and I want them to experience. There's nothing better. There's nothing better. You might experience those moments in other, facets of your life down the road, but there's nothing better than those moments, and we want to create those moments for these guys.
All right, you said Royce's decision was a unique one. What makes it unique? Could you expand on that a little bit?
Just a great player that's given so much for his university. I guess what I'm trying to say. Maybe I should have used another word. Sorry.
Was that a tough decision for you? Yeah. On that for days and weeks?
Yeah. For competitors, it's always going to be, right? He's a competitor.
Was it emotional for him when he told you?
It's good. I'm sorry.
Was it emotional for him when he told you?
It was tough for him. It's tough for him. Okay. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.